We went
Is it
from
your
crossing over to feet and central body parts. It's all
Part of
together.
life.
It's one
Part of
package.
time. One
Mhm.
package. You know, well, unless something has gone wrong, but generally you go back with all your parts.
Generally.
We hope. That's the goal.
Right.
That's the goal, love.
That's the goal.
I want to come in with my parts and leave with my parts.
I totally agree. Would you lead me directly to Paula?
Good segue.
We're going to talk about wholeness.
Yes. Wholeness, I think, is important to make sure that you're living, along that wonderful butterfly journey.
I agree. It's about the physical parts. It's about the energetic parts, right? And so I think it's important to always, on a daily basis, to call back your parts to you, because we go around our days, right? We go, and I know that you have really busy days, and Wendy too. Both of you are taking care of people all the time, and so you're leaving pieces of you with those people, and those people are taking pieces from you.
I totally believe that.
Right? It's this give and take, and so I think throughout your day, one of the things I've found as somebody also who's sensitive is that and it would support people, is to bring back those pieces on a regular basis throughout your day, back to wholeness, back to yourself.
Someone came, I'm a wonderful guy that came to the Home Health Aid Training Institute. By the way, if you'd like to be a home health aide or a CNA, come to the Home Health Aid Training Institute, hhati.com. And he's from Uganda.
Okay.
And he came, what's that word? Tarried. He didn't travel. The way he looked when he arrived, he tarried all the way from Manhattan on 34th Street, he lives, all the way to Westbury. Wanted to come to school. He had finished school. He was coming to get his certificate, and he was coming. And when he landed, I looked at him. He's like 6'3". I said, "You look so tired. Did you sleep along the way?"
Mm-hmm.
But as I was looking at him, I can feel my energy getting zapped.
Right.
Yeah.
And I looked at him and said, "You're zapping my energy. You're going to be like a flower just now, and I'm going to look like you. I'm out of here."
Wow, that was good. You recognize that, love. Wait, so back to what Paula was saying.
Yeah.
How do you do it, love? Do you have a ritual that you call back all your parts, or what do you do?
I do. I mean, I have many rituals, because the first one is in the morning. I think the first 16 seconds when you wake up are so crucial. So when you wake up, it's important, because we're coming out of this dream state. We're leaving behind this other realm, if you like. It's important to, first of all, it's to just connect. I do that mainly by placing my hands on my heart, my hands on my lower belly. Take a deep conscious breath in all the way down to your feet, and just feel yourself and say a word of gratitude. Like, that's, to me, that's going to start my day off. If I don't do that in the morning, my day is going to go in a different direction, right? So,
and I understand you having a large glass of water to wet your brain.
Yes, that's the second thing I do. Turn around to my nightstand, and I'll have left my water thing there, and I'll have charged it the night before with good energy overnight, and I will drink some water. Grounds you, brings you into your body.
I think if people understood that a little bit differently, they would be able to be better about how they feel and what kind of energies they can then transmit to other people. Because sometimes you're off base and you don't understand why, and then two off base, two negative neons meet together, and then it becomes a bad situation. I think people above trying to get money and trying to be good citizens, they should understand how to care for themselves in a different direction, maybe the higher frequency, you would say, Wendy?
Yeah, I think that would change your entire day and your interactions with the world. It's kind of a domino effect. Mm-hmm. If you did this ritual and you got out of bed and you're like, thank you, had a good night's sleep, drinking this water, and you get up, you're already putting yourself in optimum position to have a great day. There's so many things that you can do to support that. Like, we have such control of how we experience our days. Oh, I like that one, Maria.
Yes. Oh my God, it's amazing.
It's because I was going to say something powerful.
Yes, it is. Like that booming effect.
Yeah.
But I totally agree. I want Paula to tell the world who you are and what you do.
I am Paula Jennings, and I bring light to the world. I share the tools that I have learned along my way to raise other people's vibration, to help them raise their vibration, and to raise the consciousness of the planet. That's my mission.
Wait, there wasn't enough information left. Paula's
Right?
like, yeah, she's like the resident Irish fairy.
Right. She gives you that short version. Okay. Stick around and we'll find out exactly what to do.
It's been
Yeah.
put on the
Humble.
spot. Thank you, Wen.
But you've channeled yourself in such a way that the information and the power that you share with other people allow them to be in a better frequency, in a better, the vibes of their whole motion's different, and you love doing that.
I love doing that. You know that.
Yes.
It brings me so much joy.
Tell me about some of the tools that you work with.
Sure. So I work mainly with sound. So Tibetan bowls, gongs, rattles, tuning forks. These are all instruments.
And the tuning folks, I'm blown by.
I know. We had, on our session last week, I know that you loved the tuning fork.
Yes.
I used one that had a rose quartz and a gold tip. It's called an auto fork. And so what happens when we're at a low vibration or energy gets stuck in our system, it becomes stagnant and it creates more stagnancy in the whole body. So you're dragging. You don't know what's exactly wrong, but you're dragging. What the auto fork does, it just moves that stuff right out of you. So research is showing us that our bodies hold onto emotions that haven't been processed. It gets stuck in the body because we're just vibrant. We are just energy moving all the time, right? This matter. And so the tuning forks goes right to the spot where the stagnancy may be, and it shifts it on out. So how do you feel after a session?
Amazing.
Maria?
That tuning fork, I have to tell you, I have to believe in it because it is definitely a well understood, well thought out, universal, higher universe mechanism.
Yes.
That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because to look at this piece of equipment and to see how it operates and to see how you feel thereafter is just amazing.
Yeah.
So I love your tools. So when you're packing to go to work, you've got bowls, you've got rattles, and that's amazing.
Gongs, drums. She comes in like a car full. It's like the Brady Bunch, except with all kinds of tools. There's gongs and there's bowls and there's drums and rain sticks and things falling out the car.
I love it. The first time I saw you taking step out of the car, I was like, what does she do? And then I figured it out when you set everything up.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So people don't realize. So when you put all of that stuff together, because some people might be listening and say, what is this?
Right.
But then when you listen to music, which they're listening to, and
Exactly.
I will put on a little bit of music, you just love the information that you hear because of the musicians that produce the production of what you're hearing.
100%.
And so you're utilizing pieces individually and you're creating that sound that's actually taking us into a whole different level of cleansing ourselves.
Exactly.
Wow. You have that.
I need to.
Does someone record
I
that?
need you to write. I need you to write my bio, Maria. Because when you're in any kind of mood that you're in, say you're having a thought, and that thought is a negative thought, it is emitting a frequency. It's just like we're broadcasting today. It's broadcasting out. So if you put a song on that lifts your spirits, your thought immediately goes out and you start to vibrate at a higher level, broadcast at a higher level. And then just like you do in the world and Wendy does, everybody starts to smile around you because you start to feel better, right? It's simple. It's simple. It's quantum physics, but we won't get into all of that.
If it's so good. Talking about music, just check it out. It's 93.5 on your FM dial. to be cleansed.
Yes.
Because I think everywhere you're supposed to be, somewhere in the universe, somewhere where God was planning our lives, he said, you know what, I'll just throw a little spiz there. It's like going to 16 Hammers, getting an ice cream, and just getting sprinkles on it. I'll just put the three of them together this evening. 4 people, actually, because our executive assistant is here. Chana, thank you so much for everything you're doing. You're making history with that little GoPro. Tell me about that thing.
It's honestly my best friend. And I say this because I carry it everywhere I go. We went on so many concerts and I recorded everything. I wrote my own podcast on it as well. So it's my best friend.
Tell me about your podcast.
So it's called The Butterfly Analogy. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. It's on YouTube as well. We do video production with it. It's just a journal for me to, I would say, explain my own personal journey in this lifetime and to broadcast the journeys of everyone else that I meet to make this with.
I think that's phenomenal. And you're in your 20s. This is great. And then on top of that, you decided to get excited and just produce with me.
Exactly. I want to dip my toes into everything I possibly can because I want to consistently reinvent the person I am and continue to grow.
Wow. This sounds like the Emmy Awards.
Totally.
Back to you, Paula.
Sure.
Tell me, when someone calls and you hear their voice, what are you thinking? And they say, well, I would like to
I would like to.
make a visit to see you.
Oh, okay. So somebody's making an appointment with me.
Yes.
Yeah, generally speaking, they're curious, right? So I'll give you an example of a woman today. I bumped into this woman. I always talk to people wherever I go. And she was at the spa in my gym. And so she asked me what I was doing later. And I said, oh, I'm going to be on a podcast. And she said, I would talk with Maria. And she goes, oh, write it down. So I gave her the info, which was awesome. And then she said
She's
to
probably
me,
listening.
I'm sure, yes, she might be listening. Her name is Susie. Hi, Susie, if you're
Susie.
listening.
That's my secret name.
Oh, it
How
is?
neat.
Okay.
Yes. That
So,
was my aunt's name, and I love her so much.
okay.
So you met Susie.
So I met Susie, and Susie then asked me what I did, of course, from that question. And I told her that I work with sound. No, actually, before that, she said to me, I want to learn the Tibetan bowls. I want to learn how to play bowls. I didn't say anything. She follows Jay Shetty and some other, energetic guys. And I said, oh my God, I actually teach how to play Tibetan bowls and singing bowls. And so that led into a whole conversation about her life, her kids. She's recently divorced. She wants support for her kids. I was able to tell her there's a program at the Rosin Salt Cave that I'll be putting on for kids coming up on Columbus Day. We have a half-day program leading into yoga and meditation for kids. So
I think kids need that.
yeah, and so
Good
what
idea.
we talked about with the kids was that they're so technology is a wonderful thing. And technology can also take us out of ourselves. It can take us. It can
Or
take us.
naturalness.
Yeah, our
Distractions,
naturalness.
yeah.
Yeah, it can lower our vibration if there's, depending on what we're looking at and consuming. And everything we consume creates a vibration within our bodies. So I think for young people, there hasn't been enough education, or at least tools to teach you how to regulate and how to manage that incoming, because it comes in, right, a lot. And so that's what I love to do. I love to be able to clear whatever has already amassed within the body, and then open up a space where they recognize that they can connect in with themselves through playing a bowl. They can heal themselves.
I see why Wendy said you were a fairy,
Oh,
a healing fairy. How long have you been practicing?
about 8 years now. Yeah, I had a former life. I've had a couple of lives, but this is the 4th or 5th iteration. So for about 10 years ago, I started to go on this path and I found many, many, many tools, sound being my favorite. Yeah.
Sound being your favorite. Sound is important.
Yeah.
Very, very important. You couldn't hear, that wouldn't be
Right.
And to all the folks that don't hear but could hear, some are people that don't hear.
Yes.
You
Yes.
ever realize that?
Yeah.
Totally.
It's a different level they're on of hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Stevie Wonder don't see, but he sees.
Totally. Yeah. And we hear and see with our whole body. It's not just with our ears and our eyes. And we haven't been taught how to do that, but it's that it is what it is. You know what I'm
Because
saying?
we've put like a computer, we've uploaded everything to the eyes.
Yeah.
I'm about to look at download, shift some energy to my feet. They're already tired. Oh, maybe to my arms. Let me just keep them in my eyes.
No, it's true, because the best massage therapists and healers I know are actually blind, because they've developed their other senses much more. So they're able to, like you said, hear or see in a different way. They use other parts of our brain that we haven't even accessed, and they're able to see on a much deeper level than we can see. Try a massage with someone like that, love.
Right? I can
Yes.
imagine. I can well imagine. So you decided that you were going to help you. That is a noble thing for you to do, to be able to understand a body and to help someone to get to a happy moment, a happy now moment, and possibly continue to understand of that energy is a better energy and
Yeah. And you don't
lovable
even have
energy
to understand it. You don't really have to talk about it
flows.
much. That's the whole
Yes.
thing. If you're willing to get curious enough to experience it, and once you experience it, then you know what it is, right? So it's very powerful. And nothing lights up my life more than when somebody walks out of a session with me and tells me they feel lighter, they feel clearer, they feel cleaner. And the other thing is that you can bring an intention to that session. So if you're working on something that you want to draw into your life, maybe it's healing something, maybe it's letting go, as you were talking about earlier, or maybe it's creating something. You can also bring that in. So it's a very powerful amplifier of our own vibration to attract, to magnetize, because we are electromagnetic fields. The human beings are. In fact, our heart is something like, at least I can't remember the amount, but a lot stronger. It emits a lot stronger message out to the world than our brain does. So if you're conscious of your heart
Naturally,
energy,
but the things that some people do, oh my God.
I know, right? Yeah. So
So when you were finished, how do you dissipate that energy that you've withdrawn?
okay, so I do it in a few different ways. I will always, like, what I call hang up the phone. So I will do a little I guess ritual again to send back the energy that I may have picked up from the person, and I will also draw my energy back to me. I'll usually use a tincture, which is a type of bells, and it's clearing, and I'll tincture myself from top to bottom. And also I do that at the end of the session. I might sweep with the tincture, I might do it with the chime, depending on what I'm guided to do in that moment. But there's a definite, then what I love to do also is leave the person at least 5 minutes for them to integrate that energy and whatever's moved outside of my energy. So I leave the room and I let them incorporate and integrate all of what's happened. Because the person who comes for the healing is the one who's healing themselves, is really the truth. And so they are now getting used to this new vibration and feeling this, and it lasts for a few days. So a few days after the session, they're taking that with them. And what I hear from people is that they're more conscious of their thoughts. They're more conscious of negative thoughts that they might have. And they start to just begin to lighten up and become happier.
They love you, mommy's watermelon. Uh, that is so cool. And where's Papa? Ciao. Say hi to Papa. Say hi, Papa. Love you, Loopy. You're the best. Ciao.
So delicious. This is. Oh yeah.
This is just priceless. Which can we eat some patties on this one?
I'm thinking about how blessed I am to have met you and to have met you both. That's really, I'm just sitting here in awe and wonder of just watching you in your genius zone right now. It's just so uplifting, you know, just watching you do
actually,
your thing.
Maria, how did you said you've been doing this for 20 years? Can you tell us how you got into this? And well, you're so good at it. The smile in your entire body is so contagious.
Well, I tell you, if there's anyone listening right now that remembered the first night that I was a 93.5, would you all talk like Wendy? Would you be so kind to call us? You know, it's meant to be. Hey, Mitchie, where are you? I tell you, my roadie, this chick is just off the hook. You know, taught me a lot of things on the road. But one night I went bowling, and of course I would work home here all day, and then decided I was going to bowl. I like, you know, swinging a ball down the alley. Gave you some exercise, and then of course anyone that knows me knows that I'm a phony because I'm always with the phone in my hand.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so they always said to me, put down the phone. How many minutes do you talk on this phone? The phone is like your boss. But I always feel that if you have to take care of people, and whatever you do, you have to do it good or don't do it at all.
Mhm.
So I never put myself, oh, well, I'm bowling, so I'm turning my phone off. I don't. I pretty much sleep with my phone on because it's a way of communicating and giving my best to what I decided that God has placed me on this earth to do. Care, you know, entertainment, just things, you know. So here I am. I show up for the second half. They says, Maria, we love you so much. But at 175, can you just like hold on the side and let someone else go into that slot? And I said, why not? If that's going to make us win, that's what I'm going to do. You know, like a football player, I'll just sit on the sidelines. And so I sat on the sidelines and I said, you know what? It's been weeks that I had not gone home to cook for my kids because every night we would go to a different restaurant because I would just work from 6 in the morning. Our mornings would start at 5. And I just drop St. John's prep, Our Lady of Sorrows, backtrack into the office, spend the entire day, visit patients, come back again, and just start again. So I was on the phone and it was just evident that they wanted someone that could bowl high tonight. I said, let me just go home and cook for my kids this evening. I jumped in the car. I was like, au revoir. You guys could have saved me this time, but it was good seeing everyone that evening. And we're at 459. So I'm going to continue the story in a little bit. My ingenuity is running. Stay tuned. Don't move the dial. It is 93.5. Hear all about how I started on 93.5. But we're she at my side continuously.
You got 20 seconds left in the hour.
Huh?
20 seconds left in the hour.
All right, so we'll open with it. We'll open. You want to do it?
What? It's going to go off automatically in 5
Like we were saying, it's 504, it's 93.5. This is where you're talking with you. And in the studios with me is Wendy from the Salt Cave, the Roslyn Salt Cave.
Hello,
The one and
everyone.
only. You have a wonderful place, and people should just come up and see everything that's cooking in your pot.
Thank you. I love it, and
Yes.
it's like an alternate universe, a place of hope and healing.
Hope and Healing, Roslyn Salt Cave, and the great Paula, sound healer.
Yes.
An
And
energy
Wendy.
alchemist.
Yeah. And so absolutely delighted to work in the Roslyn Salt Cave and to do what I do, to have a space to do what I do and be supported by somebody who gets what I do. And the community that Wendy has built there is truly a healing, hopeful and happy community. And I'm blessed to be part of it and to have walked the journey with Wendy through the last several years, especially during COVID, when what was happening at the Salt Cave was so important to so many people.
Saved a lot of lives.
It did.
Yes.
It did.
The Salt Cave, I love it.
We worked a lot with doctors and nurses and first responders. I mean, we built a lounge at Northwell for the doctors and the nurses and the support staff, and we would have the security guards who they're ex-New York cops. I mean, these like big, burly, powerful guys would come in and they would lean against the salt wall in the lounge and they would say that they would feel anxiety, but when they leant against the wall, it was kind of like their anchor. It was like their relaxing place, you know. So, yeah. And Paula, we call her she's a stress mastery alchemist. So who doesn't have stress? I mean, the world's crazy, right? It's crazier by the second. And so what Paula does, I want to just, I know she's talking about what she does, but a guy called up a few weeks ago and he said, I don't know what to do. He's like, I'm so stressed. I can't get out of bed. I got divorced a few months ago. He goes, I just can't move forward. What can you do? I said, you have to see the Irish fairy, Paula. He's like, well, what is that? I said, sound healing. He goes, can you explain to me what that is? So I said, it's kind of like, look at it this way. If you're driving along in your car and your favorite song comes on, it puts you in a good mood, right? He's like, yeah. I said, okay. And if you hear a horrible sound or a horrible song, it puts you in a bad mood, right? He goes, yes. I said, so what Paula is, she's your favorite song. So he's like, all right, I'm coming in. So he came in and he's like, I don't know what I'm here for, but I'll just go in. He walked in, he had a session with her, walked out, and he goes, I don't know what just happened, but I'm coming back next week. And he now comes every week and it's a different person.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. That is the power of energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just unbelievable.
100%.
And when you can witness it and you can enjoy it, and then it becomes something totally different.
You're so right, Maria, because in the work that you do and what we do, we see it every day. We see the impact that something positive has on somebody's life. And then we see miracles. And I know people are like, oh, that's not true. How can somebody, walk in so sad and so upset and walk out so good? Or, in your case, like you help people like really come to terms with so much in their lives. You help them to cross over, having like reconciled or made peace with family members, or real miracles happen.
That's why I believe, and I love to have these type of conversations, because solely that's the way I live, the way that God designed and designated my journey. I try to stay in that course. Don't get me wrong, I have gone to ups and downs and hills and valleys, and friends of mine who have been. I very rarely make a friend and then just friend. Like when people connect, when the universe connects me with people, it's pretty much a long-term, lifetime event of things that would go on one way or the other with us. And so I love that. There's a few people, however, that has, I don't know, maybe our frequency was in the same place, and they would pull away and say, oh my God, let me take a toll of myself to see what's going on. But again, that whole frequency, sometimes you're not supposed to be in a frequency. And so there are other things that you have to journey on. So that evening when I left the bowling alley, and Syosset Bowling Alley, that was Syosset Bowling Alley, I get a feeling, I have this big feeling that I was looking at Oprah the other day and I said to myself, I feel like I'm getting ready to step into Oprah's shoes.
Well, you know it's going to happen. I see you do that all the time. You think about something, you mention it, and the next day it happens. So here we go.
And that's what I was thinking. A week before, I was driving in my car. A friend of mine, I was listening to the radio, and I say, it should be a good thing to, just probably be on the radio. Everybody's listening. I was actually listening to DJ Roy. And I was like, oh my goodness, you just listen to people's tones. You listen to, the whole different beat. Lenny, Green, what's her name? And you just listen and you're like, oh my God. So here I get in the car and I'm driving home to go cook for my kids. And then I heard an ad that said 93.5 WVIP. Looking for, you want to broadcast? Looking for broadcasting? Why don't you come up here?
Oh my God. Yes. And so you did.
So before I did that night, I actually called up Don and oh my God, we have a great team that works here. Cindy is amazing. Not everything rolls off her back. She is amazing. And she says, well, you can start on Thursday. Come on up. And I come on up from 9 to 10. And I walk into the studio. And prior to that, I decided to go to Barnes and Noble's because I needed to get music. My plan when I heard that I could be on the radio was that I was gonna make everybody happy. I don't want to talk about politics. I don't want to talk about it. Just play reggae music. I love other music. I respect that it's singers, music, drums, everything involved. But reggae music, that beat, the drum bass, just music. Let me see what I got here. So let's do this.
Ooh. Yeah.
So good.
Tell me why it took us all so long to realize, why. So I realized never did say goodbye. She never stopped to say goodbye. No, never did say goodbye. She never stopped to say goodbye. No. To the future,
So you enjoy the music.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you the art of music. So I went to Barnes and Nobles and I picked up a few songs and then I had my CD player and I was just testing the music on the way. And I decided to play Trucking as my first opening song, but in reggae version.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then?
I came up to the studio and I'm like, all right. So Richie came in. I love Richie. So love this guy. He's an amazing person, a great engineer. He has patience like no one else. And he taught me the board. I did television directing and producing at Cleveland College, but I'd not done radio. I was in a few radio stations doing advertisements for the business, but I'd not been on the board. I was not a broadcaster yet. I didn't go to Connecticut School of Broadcasting, nor did I, I like this. I'm going to do this. I hung out with Rocky, very good, vibrant DJ. And I played music with him on the road. He showed me different equipments. And so I have my own studio at home. So I understood how to operate everything, but I wasn't on the air.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Richie came in and he said, this is part one, part two, you do this, you put that there, you do that, you put this there, you put this in here, and that's it, you're ready to go. And I looked at him like, be so kind and say that 2 more times. And he did. He actually did, and it was amazing.
Mm.
It was really, really amazing. And so at the end of the day, at the end of that 1 hour night, I was in heaven.
Yeah.
2 men came up to the studio that same night. The dance master, who is also a colleague of mine on the radio, and Peng. He was as well another colleague of broadcasting that did different shows. And they came up to me and was like, oh my God, you did a great show. I was like, okay, one gave me a rose, and Dance Master gave me a rose, and Peng gave me a gold coin, one of the $2 gold coin. He gave that to me. He was like, here.
Oh,
I was like,
wow.
I did not know what to say. That was the one time in my life I was speechless. And I thanked them. And so I became a regular on the radio. But by the 3rd week, and if everyone is listening, and I know Squeeze is listening, I now did 2 hours. And he said 1 hour is not enough. 60 minutes went too fast. I wanted to stay on there for 120 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was on for 120 minutes, and someone called in and said, you don't even know how to play reggae music. I don't even understand why you're in the air. Because I was taking calls.
Mm.
And everyone said, oh my God, you're so good. This is so nice. Who are you? You know, your voice, your music. Are you who's choosing your music? And when I got that phone call, I was like, okay, so if you think so, I think the contrary. And guess what? I'm going to keep playing music. I'm going to stay up here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when she hung up the phone, this is no joke. And everyone that's listening to me, I'm saying this. I must have gotten over 300 phone calls
Yes.
Wow.
that one night. Just telling me how good I was and giving me confidence and giving me everything. Like I didn't think so many people were listening, honestly.
Wow.
I was like, you're on the air and it's like, you're on the air chair, like they say, the birds, the bees. But it was amazing. And I thank God for the journey that he's put me on, because that's what I want to do. Just make everybody happy.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
you do
a great
it.
story. And thank God for that woman who did call you up,
Yes.
because you learned through that phone call how many people loved what you did, and that gave you the confidence to keep going, right?
Yes. I met her after a few years, and she said to me, I was wrong. I should have not done that to you.
Mm.
But it worked out. I heard how many people called you after that. She said, I was just being mean that night, but I swear I have nothing against you, because I still listen to your show. She's very nice. We still talk. And she's a good human being on her own, but it worked. It was meant to be that way.
It was meant to be that way.
It was meant to be that way. And I thank all my listeners. It's 518, it's 93.5 on your FM dial. To everyone that's listening to me now or have encouraged a friend to listen to the Talk with Maria show, thank you. Kudos to you. And I'll just take this opportunity to say that I will be getting the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award.
Woo!
And yeah, thanks to everybody that loves me on this September 23rd. So I thank God for that movement and time. And I thank everyone that thought that I was good enough to be considered. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, Maria, so you go to the White House and just talk
Well,
us through this, love.
It's actually going to be taking place at the UN. There's a chapel in the UN, and that's where it's going. The entire gala is going to be taking,
Wow.
flight
That's
Yes.
amazing.
It probably would be great to have you guys there.
We can be your glam team.
Yes.
Yes.
I can rub your feet.
Yeah, right? That would be great. Oh my gosh. So yeah, should be something we should discuss. I think it would be excellent. And it's by 1,000 women.
Yes.
1,000 women. And it's it's an entire big evening. Of course, the UN is in session, and they're just going to have this wonderful evening held. For imagine other people that has this basically earn or deserve this recognition.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Congratulations, love. That is such recognition
Yes.
for what you do in the world.
Thank you so much. It's amazing. I do it effortlessly. I don't think that it's easy.
It's easy for you because you do it from your heart.
Mm-hmm. It is. Definitely is. Check this out. My favorite. Wendy, you want to sing?
Come on, Wendy.
You sing, love.
Oh, at least the chorus. This is right up your alley.
It is from my country, love, South Africa.
Absolutely, yeah.
Mhm.
I feel proud. I feel
I'm
proud.
telling you. What's the odds of having a South African?
We have Irish,
like
South
this-
Africa, and
right?
Trinidad, and
Irish, South
American.
African, Trinidad, and American.
Salvador.
Blended well with a
Mm.
little bit of Honduran, Salvatorian,
Yeah, on American dirt.
That's right.
and all Jamaican. Hello, Megan. Hello, oh yay, how are you? To all my African home health aides. What's cooking, Alima? Hello, mamas. What's up to all my Ghanaians? Mangadif. I learn one word a day. I'm learning Bambara now. How's that? I wonder how's the Queen doing? I happen to like the Queen a whole lot. To Master KG, what's cooking? I hope everything is well and intact and everything is going, it's amazing when you decide to do something of this nature and it just gets picked up and everyone just, I just love this. Your world and mine. Your world and mine.
See?
What are you imagining right now?
I'm imagining one of those Jamaican patties, love.
Oh my God. Dance Master, you hearing this? Not a bad idea.
Not bad at all.
Not too bad.
Maria, what are you imagining?
Well, generally I go to AJ's, but he went on vacation and closed the entire restaurant.
Selfish.
So we have to think about another place to eat. We'll explore something in a rock city.
Yes.
Yes.
Your world and mine.
so cute.
Jess is listening to it live. She said nice mix.
So, Paula,
Yes.
I'm gonna come back to you.
Okay.
I love that sound, that movement of sound.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel after you've healed someone?
I feel grateful. I think gratitude is one of the highest vibrations. And I feel filled with gratitude and awe, really, that I can open a space for somebody to heal. And I trust that I am guided and I am like the hollow bone. So it comes through me. And that the person who is there, they have to want to heal themselves, right? It's not a one way, it's a two way. And that exchange of energy, I always believe, and is exactly what needs to happen for that person and also for me. Like, it's something that is intended to elevate both of us. Obviously, the person who's coming, who's in distress, knows that I have something for them, or that I can bring something that they know already. And I always see their highest self, and I always see I always trust that their guides, whoever it is that's taking care of them, is showing up for them in that moment. So I just walk out feeling grateful, feels that I'm happy, that I actually get to live my purpose, and I actually get to do it every day.
What did you do prior to that? May I ask?
You may. It's quite a different life I had. As I said, I was on Wall Street for 20 something years. I came to New York City from Dublin. That plane landed in JFK. I had no idea what was ahead of me. I had about $500 in my pocket. And within a few weeks, I had been hired by a guy who took a risk, and it took a risk on me, and hired me. And I ended up 20 years later being the chief operating officer of a large global financial bank.
Tell me what you did in Dublin.
In Dublin, I was there until I was 30. I was born and raised there. I went.
Dublin.
Yeah, it's a great town. Dublin is my heart. I was raised in a family of 4 by 2 amazing parents, and I lived there. I mean, all my formative experiences were in Dublin. I went to Trinity College in Dublin. I mean, really, I was into music. So I'm like you. I'm so envious. No, but really, my whole life was about, my teenage years and my 20s were all about going to gigs, live music. The punk scene was on. I had blue hair, believe it or not. Yeah. And that was my joy. My joy was going to see live bands. I saw Blondie this week in Huntington. She sings a fabulous song called Maria, which I don't know if you know that song. Yeah, you need to listen to it. I'm going to send it to you.
Very good.
But that's what I did. I also, I mean, what I did for a career was I was an accountant, and I also worked, did some law work, legal work. During my 20s, I took a little break from life. I had gone through a period of being down. You know, we talked about periods of up and down. So I was separated from life for a little bit. I was sick. And I actually ended up working with my dad, which was such a great experience. And to know that I was able to spend that time with him was one of the benefits of that time in my life. And I think also it really connected me into how much I was loved and how supported I was by all my family and my friends. Yeah.
That's amazing. And you walk around just exuberating so much light and love. I love your energy. I'm so grateful that God blended us together.
Me too.
Yes, and I'm happy that we just tuned in. This evening is a royal evening of sending that sound and that air, and letting people know how they can live so happy and how they can be so just joyous.
Yes.
What do you want to say to someone that's listening right now?
I want to tell them to lighten up and be joyful and just be happy. Just be happy.
That's it.
It's easier to tell yourself a happy story than it is to wallow in a sad one. And we just make up our thoughts are made up. So we have the ability to make up what our story is. So I'm going to tell you, you have the power within you. You are a divine being who is here for a reason. There's no reason that you can't live your best life and limitless life, and go live it.
Go live your best life.
Go live your best life. Life is precious and it's short.
And that's it.
That's it. That's what the Dalai Lama talks about all the time, how precious life is.
Tell me some of the people that you've read that you feel so connected with.
I really feel connected with the Dalai Lama and his book, Art of Happiness. I highly recommend it. A friend of mine who is on the other side, she died at a young age, 29. She met him and she really inspired me she inspires me every day actually, but she inspired me to deepen into my spirituality. I love Pema Chodron, who's another great, I love a lot of the new people who are I love Gabor Mate. He talks a lot about trauma. He talks a lot about how we feel as a response in a lot to our childhood. There's so many. I mean, I never stop reading books. I never stop being. I think that we're here to grow, and the more that you read and the more that you learn. I was raised a Catholic, and I sort of decided that wasn't for me, and then I went into a whole period of exploring other wisdom traditions. I found Marianne Williamson, I found Shakti Gawain, and the journey is never ending. And I think that I always find the right people at the right time too.
Evolution.
Yeah, evolution.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's just predominant. It can't escape.
Yeah, I think it's Soul Evolution was the name of my company. Anam is the Gaelic for soul, and I really believe that's the journey that we're on. We're on this humankind as individuals, yes, but also if you look at the evolution of humans over, as far as we can go back, we had women who were in power and it was a matriarchal society, and then we moved to a patriarchal society, and now I really think we're shifting into this new energy where both are valued and both are equal, and we're both being asked to blend that beautiful
Contribute
energy
nicely.
to contribute and be
Play
in
in the
service.
sandbox.
Yes, and play in the nice sandbox. It's so much easier to be fun and happy than it is to drag it around.
It is. And I hope everyone would hear that and just let the load go.
Let it go.
For heaven's sake, just let the load go. So that's the word of the week. Let it go. Let the load go. Okay? Tune in to us. Talk with Maria show 93.5. We're live, and you can catch the show after and listen to it a few times and enjoy it again and again and get your whole mantra on. And of course, life just unfolds. I love it. Wendy.
I love it also. It's so good. That's it. I mean, Paula's story is really interesting. It's, and when somebody says to me, "You've changed," I'm like, "Thank you. That's the goal." I don't want to stay the same. I want to keep learning and growing and being open to, finding the parts of myself that aren't working and that aren't good. Oh, a little bit closer, sorry. And, that's for me, that's the goal, to keep moving forward and to keep learning and growing. And so, so lucky that we can wake up every day. And there's so many things we can do to control like our daily lives. For example, like social media. We bombarded with social media. I make sure that everything coming on my social media is positive. Like I unfollow anything that's not positive, that's not in alignment with my beliefs. Another great trick is when I go to sleep at night, when you lie down at night and you think, that's the time sometimes, because we're so busy that you start processing, like let's say you had a fight with somebody. That's when you lie down and start obsessing about it. And then you fall asleep thinking about that, which is the worst thing you could do. So when I go to sleep at night, I lie down, and even if it's for like a few minutes, I start thinking about all the good things that happened that day. And I fall asleep with that in my head. And then for the next 6, 7, how many hours I'm asleep, that's what's in my head, more positive things. So
I try to deduce before I can, first to begin with, I've made myself a promise that I'm going to disseminate and understand and I'm not going to go to sleep over driving. I have to allow positive thoughts. I ask for forgiveness on a daily basis from God. And I want to be a better person every day, like you said, to just evolutionize. Oh, you've changed. Well, yeah, I believe that I should smile all day. I should try to do what I can do for you. Sometimes I'm learning how to manage time better, because so many people come to me for one thing or the other. And so I can just get my time dragged out by over talking and over listening and just overdoing. helping. And so I have recognized through some of my great colleagues, Maria, you're great at what you do, but you have to segment and, okay, so this person came to see you, and 20 other people are going to see you today. Say, can we keep it under 5 minutes? Like, it's like a whole production of my life daily. And so I'm like, okay. And it's working out well. I'm able to fit in all my board meetings and all my community meetings and still visit sick people. So I kind of like to I kind of do a flashback. What did I do? I started off at 5. I did this at 6. I made sure this person got cared for. I spoke to his family. I got this done. I got that done. I infused this. When you have a business, you have to, it's like when people talk about the president, I have to tell you, I don't talk about any presidents. Because if you're a president of your own business, we all know how hard it is to just keep everything coming. It's fastballs all day long coming at you. So if you're governing an entire US of A, that must be a huge, any of the presidents may not have, they probably like, this is my 4 years, I'm out. That's it. Let me sleep the first morning, then they go out there and say,
I mean, who would want that job? Like,
Yeah,
seriously.
seriously.
you really
Yeah.
have to respect a president. And I think sometimes, and I'm just going to say that, you have to respect people. And
Yeah.
if you can, I say to people, you don't always like apples and peaches. Some people don't. When I hear them say, I don't like mangoes, I'm like, what's wrong with you? Who don't like mangoes? But then, you have to respect things and people. I like fruits, but I don't like mango. All right, I'll eat peaches.
But you know-
Apple. I ate your mango.
Exactly. You know what's also amazing, Maria, you were saying earlier about, we all have ups and downs in our life, but what surprises me sometimes, I'll be having a bad day, I'll be feeling unhealthy and I haven't worked out and I'll put on weight or whatever it is that's pulling me down, there's some stress that's going on. And then someone will say, thank you so much. Like, you really made my day today. And what surprises me is that it's amazing we can be inspirational without feeling inspirational. That you can.
Absolutely.
Don't you have those moments in your
Yes.
life when you're not feeling
Yeah.
it, and then you give somebody something and you're like, oh, okay,
Yes. And they're so happy.
yeah.
Tell us about you.
Okay, I'm from South Africa, and I came to the US 28 years ago. And then soon, my dad was a doctor in South Africa. So when we got sick, we popped a pill or took a shot. I never actually went to the doctor. I had a doctor at home. And then I got into a car accident 29 years ago in LA, and I hurt my neck. And so I went on this journey. First, I went to, Western medicine, and I couldn't find any help. My head was like almost on my shoulder. I was in pain all the time. And so I started traveling the world for healing. And I ended up working with the most amazing healers. And I was working at the Four Seasons Hotel at the time as a concierge. That was a great job. And Dr. Deepak Chopra was standing there. He used to come often to the hotel, and he was in the lobby. And I walked up to him and I said, how old were you when you found your peace? And he goes, hold on. And he goes upstairs and he comes back with this book called The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. And the first line of that book says something like, your dreams become your desires is your destiny.
Absolutely.
And I was like, okay, I'm going to quit my job right now and go find out what this car accident and, what this has to do with my destiny, my life purpose. And so I did. And then the next 28 years were all about me collecting ingredients, I call it, working with healers all over the world. And, I had this vision of opening this wellness center, which took 28 years to open. And I remember often looking up at the universe saying, what's taking you so long? Like, I know what I want to do. I know what my destiny is. And the thing is, when I did open it 28 years later, I realized that I have to trust divine timing, because if I had opened it 28 years ago, I wasn't ready. I wasn't confident. I didn't have enough knowledge. It wasn't the right time in the world to have a place that had sound healing, what Paula does, and energy medicine, and sell crystals, and have a salt cave. People would have thought I was crazy.
And have pranic healer.
Pranic healer.
Greatest pranic healer.
It's like magic. Pranic healer, it's sort of for people, I'm not sure if people know about Reiki or pranic healing, it's energy medicine. So based on the premise that we are made of energy, which is a scientific fact, and sometimes that energy is out of alignment. And the Reiki master or the pranic healer is able to see or use their intuition, because they have more advanced intuition. I mean, we all have intuition. They just happen to use theirs more. and they're able to see where we're out of alignment and kind of help us using our, between our own wish for healing and these different protocols, kind of put us back together.
And so I just want to interject this. There's a Grandmaster Glenn is coming into town.
Yes. So he is one of 8 pranic healers in the world, and he has decided to teach at the Soul Cave. And he came in.
Phenomenal.
I mean, it's such a gift. He walked in and to do a promo. I mean, just a free promo. He's like, of course I'll do it. He is like a neonatal surgeon, and he's a pranic healer. He's a very well-respected doctor. He walks in and he felt like my uncle, just like a regular guy. I gave him a hug, hello. He was so down to earth and kind. There were 6 of us in the room, and he wanted to know a little bit about each person. He did a healing on each person, and he explained to us that pranic healing is like a lifestyle. It's a way you wouldn't necessarily do it so that you could become a pranic healer. You wouldn't learn about it for that. You would learn about it to heal yourself, because everything's about self-care and self-healing. And it's sort of a lifestyle, like doing things like how we said in the very beginning. Paula said, something that's in alignment with your soul. What is it that makes you happy? What's your special gift and your life purpose, and what's gonna align with you in your life? So pranic healing teaches you that. It talks a little bit about meditation, talks a little bit about being able to tune in and scan something. Is that good for me? Is that bad for me? Is that too much? And so we're doing the training September 24th and 25th, level 1. And Maria, you're going to do it with us?
Yes. I should be flying after that.
Yeah. And then level 2 and 3 are going to be done, and that's going to be taught by Master Glenn, October 28th, 29th, and 30th.
I tell you what, you said you wanted patties. Here they come.
Here rubbish.
They come.
To America with Tower Isles Jamaican style patties. Available at your local supermarket in beef or chicken. Tower Isles is the leading manufacturer and distributor of Jamaican style patties and has led the industry in quality food products for more than 45 years. Tower Isles patties are made with the best ingredients. Grade A USDA beef and chunky white chicken breast. Great for a snack or purchase them for your wedding.
Time is not linear.
Enjoy Jamaican style patties from Tower Isles.
Give them a call at 718-495-2626. That's 718-495-2626.
And don't forget to check your local supermarket for Tower Isles Jamaican style patties.
Home Health Training Institute equips to train for home health aides, PCAs, CNAs, all classes and times available. Come train with us. 321 Post Avenue in Westbury, New York, or give us a ring at 516-333-3689. Ask for Maria. See you soon. 516-333-3689. Come train with us. Get a great job.
Lonely, for all the tribe of
That's my daughter listening. She just said, how do I listen?
She has to go to WVIP 93.5.
I told her that.
I don't know, because Bruce found it.
Bruce
found it. I don't know how. Bruce found it, but I don't know how.
Well, now we've come to one conclusion. No more of the Babylon information. I has made a resolution. It will be the Rastaman redemption. I know. Now I know.
Israel's God. So, Wendy, Israel's king is Israel's God.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Oh my God, look at you enjoying the show.
I am loving every minute.
I'm so happy.
Maria, it's so beautiful to watch you producing and like being in your element, love.
Thank God.
Let me see.
I'll tell you now, I know I can feel the difference. And it's like you said, journey. I've always wanted to have House of Home Care where I can show people how to care for sick people, how folks after 80, 85, how they survive, how families, what they have to go through to care for them, some people Alzheimer's and Parkinson's just absorb their lives, and the people that break their hips and the people that's just completely out of their mind. You're looking at a human being and they're just completely out of mind. I'm hoping that chronic healing, along with everything else that God has created and given us the authority to do. And so my great friend Estrella, I love you. Don't forget to go to, what's the name of Estrella Hydrotherapy in Port Washington. Hi, Estrella, how are you? You are an amazing woman. And I hope that your daughter is feeling a whole lot better and will be able to get up and walk and just do everything that is necessary to you and your wonderful family and all your clients. We love you so much.
Yeah. Down, everybody. Come.
Yes, tell us where to come.
It's in Roslyn. It's called Roslyn Salt Cave, and it's on Lumber Road. Or just go check us out on roslynsaltcave.com or on Instagram at Roslyn Salt. We offer yoga, sound healing, guided meditation, and salt sessions. And the salt, sitting in the salt cave, it's so magical. It's like think about it like a toothbrush for your lungs, like scrubbing away anything that doesn't serve you. The salt's good for allergies, asthma, psoriasis, inflammation, anxiety, long-term COVID issues. And every day we see miracles in this room. And people who couldn't smell or taste because of getting COVID will come in, have a session, and then call me and say, oh my God, I can taste a piece of chocolate for the first time in 6 months. And of course, massages. Don't forget about your massages.
I say Brittany is the Brit of
Bomb.
massages. Just unbelievable. And Paula's right there with the sound. You must experience the sound. It's amazing. It's revitalizing. It's just so vibrant. You must treat yourself. Go to the cave. Say Maria sent you. And definitely you would come out amazed and feeling much brand new you. I thank you guys so much.
This was so much fun.
Thank you.
We
From
loved
the heart.
it. I'm going home happy. Like my heart feels happy doing this.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. And that's the plan. Happy.
It worked, love. Back to love.
Back to life. Back to reality. Paula, thank you so much.
Thank you, Maria.
I love
Thank
that poster you made.
Oh,
That was amazing. Amazing. I think you're going to be the poster girl from here on.
thank you.
Yeah, Chana's shaking her head. Yeah, Chana, what do you got to say? We on 56.
I just want to say that this conversation was amazing. I learned so much from Paula and Wendy. And thank you to Maria for this amazing opportunity of being your right-hand woman.
Thank you so much. Listen, it's nothing like having a right-hand woman that is eager, that wants to work, that never says no, that knows what she's doing. She's put me up on the web. She's recording us, just everything, and just captivating that energetic mind of Alexandra. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Hey, Beans, I love ya. Love you so much. As we wrap up, I want to say as well, the money train, keep on training. It's Maria, I love you. I'm making way for our wonderful other colleague to come in. So stay tuned. Don't move the dial. It's been a pleasure and an honor. God bless you. God bless you.
Oh, fun.
So much fun.
So much fun, Maria.
So much fun. Thank you. Woo.